Welcome back to Rockit Garage. We got the bagged Harley Davidson F150 back in the shop. Last time he was here, we did all the front suspension and shocks. Then we told the owner that the brakes were getting pretty low, and he was like, I'm just gonna do that at a later time. Well, later is here, and we're just gonna do a simple pad slap and grease the slide pins, make sure everything's working, because the rotors actually look they look pretty good. Anyways, I'm gonna show you guys how to do it with the tools, and then I'm gonna show you guys how to do disc brakes without the tools, the way I used to do it in the driveway. Disc brakes are pretty easy. Drum brakes, people get annoyed, but this should be an easy job. And then we're gonna go out on the road and set these pads to the rotors, get them nice and burnt in so the owner doesn't have to do that. Anyways, let's get this thing on the lift, get the tires off, and get these pads on. On this year truck, these slide pin bolts are 13s. And I've got a bunch of extra TIG rod that I don't use anymore. It's kind of rusty, so I use them as caliper hangers. They make a tool, but this is pretty easy. Shroop. You just don't want to hang it by the hose. It's not good practice. You can. See that? There's a little chunk missing out of that. The pads were right there at the wear bar, so it's a good thing he came in. But the rotors, on the other hand, they look fine. Oh, I've got a mess. Seems to be my life. When I'm doing brakes, at a minimum, I like to do the boots on the slide pins. But I did, just in case one of the pins was bad, I bought a set of pins and bolts. And if I'm doing brakes, I usually go to Power Stop. I just like their products. I'm not sponsored or anything. I've worked with them and they seem to work pretty well. Comes with the hardware, comes with your pads, obviously. And then these have wear indicators on them. And you can tell this one's been riding on the indicator. That's what makes your little screeching sound at first. You can tell these are obviously way thicker. They look the same. You just want to put a dab of grease on it. This is your caliper piston reset kit. This one is by Cornwell. It's got all your adapters, your flat pieces, your turnbuckle, I guess you would call it. It's got all of the adapters for different Hondas, VWs, trucks, cars. Most of these are going to be for the ones that twist back in for your parking brake, but this kit is invaluable. Saves a lot of time. All this is doing is pushing the fluid out of that piston back into the reservoir. Next thing is going to be these slide pins. These ones came out pretty easy actually. They're a little dry, so we're probably going to go ahead and grease them up. Make sure the threads are nice and not crunchy. Yeah, those don't look bad, but we are going to replace the boots no matter what. Over here on the table, we're just going to run these bolts in. One of these didn't feel the greatest. So here's the new slide pins. They look the same, but these bolts, when I got to looking at them, yeah, they're not the happiest. Almost like they're starting to cross thread. This one's not as bad, but it's starting to. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and replace the slide pins on the driver's side at least. Put a new boot on. Voila. Then we will just do a little bit of anti-seize. You can put a little grease on them. Just something. We don't have rust down here, so not a whole lot needs to go into protecting these because, like I said, we don't have salt. Pop. Pop. See how they slide in and out real nice? Boink, boink. Now that we have the pistons pushed back in, the new pads will just slide right in. The new bolts already have a little bit of Loctite on them. We'll rotate that down. Whoa, almost hit myself in the face. And then the bolts are torqued to 21 foot-pounds. Now for the at-home driveway side. If you're just doing your own brakes, this technique works. Where did my little caliper hanger go? There we go. Let's go ahead and pull the clips off. There, there, and there. This is what you want to do if you don't have that tool. You're going to take a C-clamp, kind of hold it in there. Go to the back side of the caliper. And then you're just going to start squeezing it in with the pad. Now you see how it's offset? It's because all the force is on one piston. I'm just going to go ahead and put 2 clamps on there. Obviously, this is a dual piston caliper. And if you've got like a Corolla or something, it'll have a single piston. All right, those are snug down. Those pistons are reset. Put your clips in. Ah, my nail! I broke a nail. Let's take a look at these slide pins. These threads look a lot better. I don't think I'm gonna have to replace those. Snap. Install the inner pad, the outer pad, anti-rattle, and since we're reusing, oh my gosh, my whole contraption is leaking. Blue Loctite, since we're reusing the old bolts. Yeah, see, these move in and out really nicely now. I really like the click style torque wrenches, but this beam torque wrench is the only one I have that goes to 21. And you just want to do a slow pull. 21. Always hand start a couple threads. Last thing you want is for the day to be ruined because you cross-threaded a lug nut stud. Let's go bed the brakes in. Normally what I do is I'll go to 40. 40, down to like 20, hard brake. All right, keep going. Go back up to 40. We're at 40, hard brake. 20, keep going. And then what we'll do is we'll go to 55. Get over this hill first. I'm not trying to stop on this hill. We're gonna go down to 20. All right, 20. Then we'll do a 55 down to 10. All right, we're doing about 58. And then we're gonna go all the way down to 10 and keep rolling. Should start smelling the brakes by now. And then we're gonna do one more of those. This is called bedding the brakes in. We'll do 55. Down to 10. We're just gonna be turning around, but open the window, you can smell the brakes. So these things are bedded in, and I'm just going to drive around for a couple more minutes just so I don't have any hot spots in the rotors. Well, that's a wrap on the F-150. Got new pads, 2 new slide pins, everything's greased. We bedded in the brakes. I know this wasn't a terribly complex video, but hopefully if you're just starting out in the automotive or car world, you learned something. And if you didn't learn something, hopefully you were entertained. I love working on this truck. Don't see too many bagged F-150s anymore. And anything I could do to make sure these trucks stay on the road is a win by me. So I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, doing all the YouTube things. And I'll see you on the next one.